Okay, that's funny. All right, so we're looking at the compound stroke.
Yeah.
And what did you get that up to?
Well, you said 56. That's kind of what I focused on doing.
Okay.
Can try it faster. Probably will work. But
then let's hear it at 56.
Yeah.
Now, I was thinking part of what we were working on last lesson was you were really making an honest to goodness up to a throw or a stroke, right?
Yeah.
So let's see how and then you're having concerns, it's an ongoing concern, especially with regards to your left, playing singles. And I know that that's kind of on your priority list. And so I created a kind of adaptation to the stroke, so that you're playing more singles. But right now, let's just play the stroke as it's written. Let me hear that.
Right.
Wait a minute, Raf. I think you've created your own version of the compound stroke number 2, because
Did I?
Yeah, you're a very creative guy. But what if you look at the stroke, it doesn't turn around.
No, I know. I was just.
You were turning it around.
Yeah, I was just to exemplify. But should I then just start with the right hand and crack on with that one? Is that it?
Well, I asked you to play it as written, right?
Okay.
Sorry about that. Okay, so go ahead and play it.
You're confusing me.
What would happen? Go ahead and let's see. How this would work. So what if we did? So this way we can get you throwing, because I'm really not seeing enough throw. So we're going to again not play exactly what's written purposefully.
Yes.
We're going to put, pardon me, we're going to put accents into what it would normally be a Radamacue, right?
Okay.
Let's hear that. watch, Raph. Here's what you're doing. You're going, and you're waiting with your right in the air. I'll see if I can even do it, right? That's where you're waiting. But really it's right? See? The hand that's throwing throws, the other hand waits at the floor.
Yeah.
Right there. So just do this. Just do this. Notice how you want to lift up your right?
Hmm?
You notice how you still want to lift, it's tiny, but you want to lift up your right. And this technique is so much, Raph, about being here. We're not playing, we're at the floor. There you go. I need a big throw on the left. I need a big throw. Doesn't mean you forget about the right, stopping at the, waiting at the floor.
It feels like my left hand. I can't really feel the weight of the stick as much as on my right hand.
Okay, that's cool. Try going the other way, and we'll address all of that. Hopefully those questions will end up being answered even without you asking them. Wants to wait down, it's easier for your left. It's waiting at the floor. Okay. I need a big throw. Let's see. Okay. And you see, a throw doesn't go like this. It doesn't go. See, we're looking for real total efficiency. So every time you stop above the floor this high, it means that you either are going to start to play with a new floor, which means now when you go up, remember, because of throw, thank you, Richard Martinez, is the idea of moving around a fixed point in the universe. Richard Wilson would say, you leave the beat down when you go up. and so if your floor is now here, because this is where you're going to stop, now when you go to throw, you're going to be moving around a fixed point in the universe, and you're up here somewhere. See, it's not what we're doing. We're always here at the floor, like this. Just do this for fun. Wait a minute. How come it never flattens out? Doesn't it? Doesn't it flatten out? Yeah, look, it does this. There you go. That's different than one. And don't point your first fingers. You have to hold on up front. Remember, it's a firm, comfortable, constant grip.
No.
See, that's what you're not feeling. And don't point your first fingers. Hold on. And do that. Go ahead and do that. Okay.
It's like when I go up, it's kind of, yeah, it's like the stick wants to move out of the palm.
Well, Does the stick have a mind of its own? I thought that, I mean, I know it came from a living, breathing tree, but all right, it's really inert. It's really just an inert object. So you can't blame the stick. No, believe me.
I'm saying that's what my body is doing.
There you go. See, that's not what you were doing. Okay, now go ahead and just, okay, so what we're going to do, compound stroke is coming along. We're not going to fixate on it. I'm going to have you play that fragment and just work on going one way with that throw, right? We're going to do that. But now what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a little cool exercise, because you're still not getting the throw. And believe me, it took me a lot longer than that to figure out how the heck to make a throw or a downstroke using this technique. And so, and when you went to do this, I don't know what you were doing. I guess, you see, here's what you were doing. You kept a hump here. You'd come up, you started off okay, then you were leaving the beat. This is remedial. You'd come up and you have this pronation. Murray would talk about the pronate, and then you'd come down and it would stay pronated. I don't even know how you do. I do know how you do that. Go ahead and stay pronated and come down. Stay pronated. You did it before. Yeah, there. You know what that means? If you come down that way, what does that tell you? How would you come down if the wrist doesn't move and stays in this locked position? How would you possibly come down? I mean, you are coming down. So tell me how.
By opening my fingers, right?
Are you sure? Maybe. Is that what you? Yeah, but I thought I saw your forearm come up. Didn't your forearm come up? Yeah. See, so how do you come down and maintain that position if your forearm is moving? No, it's not what you were doing. Yeah, come on down. That's it. What you were doing.
That's the problem.
What's that?
Forearm is not going to come down. That's the problem, right?
Well, you were using the muscles. You were using your bicep muscles, I believe. That means you weren't leading with your wrist. And if you were right and you were using your fingers, you're still not leading with the wrist. See? So you haven't learned how to lead with your wrist yet, which is cool. So I'm going to hit some things that will help you get your head around what's happening and help you be able to teach yourself, so that you start to recognize start to learn how to analyze yourself. What am I doing? See, the only way you're going to get down is from the bicep, but the muscles that control the wrist are in front of the elbow, not behind the elbow. And that means that we're going to come up and we're going to come down. And the stick isn't going to even leave the palm. And that means that the wrist is now controlling the up and down. Try it. You just did it. Just get.
I know what you're saying. I think it's just this tendency that, let's imagine that I'm on the floor and I want to hit it. I want to do a double stroke. That way, yes, you bend the wrist, but then your fingers will naturally open, right? Because if you're here and you're doing this, then your fingers will open, right?
Well, we're going to get to doubles in a minute. We will.
So that's all to say that it's kind of a different motion per se, right?
Yeah, you've got that clever mind. I understand. And so sometimes that kind of mind can either be a benefit or not. And so don't try to conflate what we're doing here with playing a double.
Yeah. No, I understand that. I was just trying to do that. That was the problem.
Because I understand you're looking for synchronicity. You're looking for some kind of overview that describes the whole technique, and you'll have the whole thing in 15 minutes, not 15 years. But you won't get there that way, I don't think.
We haven't studied for 15 minutes at this stage, right? It's been a while.
Right. All right. So it's like that. Now do that again. Let's do that again. Now you're leading with the wrist. See? The wrist. The wrist. Yeah, there you go. See how easy it is? Now, all you need to do is, right, you're going to come up, and on the way down, you're going to cock your wrist. Right? So if we're just doing this, we can feel this, and then we can come up and we can go. Yeah, so just try this. We're creating this exercise for you. We're going to do this, 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 and then throw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's then we put it back on the surface. Up, down, up, down, up, throw. Don't punch your first finger. You're going to need it. Do it again. Better. Let's just make sure about one thing. Yeah, what you don't want to do, it's too bad because I had video of Dick Wilson talking about this and I think it got erased. But Kevin, you said you don't come up this way and you don't come up and you don't come up this way. You leave the bead down. You leave the bead down when you come up. Then you bring it up. So what we don't want to do is go up, down, up, down, up, and on the way up, lift it even just a little bit. That's not what happens. It doesn't get lifted as you are pronating. It doesn't lift away from the surface. It stays at the surface. That's the fixed point in the universe, so to speak. So watch. It's going to stay there. I can even wait. And then I'm going to bring it up. Try it again. Right, so that might be a good exercise. You're going to go up, down, you're going to wait, and then as soon as you start to bring that bead towards the ceiling, or cock your wrist, as Spivak would say, the forearm begins its descent down. And you get that torque that Dick Wilson would talk about. Is your arm coming down right away? Look, it comes down, watch, you see? These are the subtleties. Watch, it comes down right away when we're moving around this fixed point. So as you start to go down and the wrist isn't cocking in the same way, but it's flattening back out. As soon as you begin to flatten out, the forearm comes down. But when you go to throw, you lift and it doesn't come down right away. Then it comes down, which means you're holding your arm up in the air, which means it's not entirely led by the wrist. Try it again. Up, see? Your forearm isn't coming down. You just proved it, which is cool. You see, this is what we want. We want you to do it wrong, perhaps. You're duplicating what you did wrong. Perfect. So now we can really fix it. Yes, it's different.
No, but this is important. So at what time does the forehand, the forearm goes down?
I actually have what I grabbed out of Richard Wilson's famous red book.
Is it like this? Like when you actually pop the wrist to the top, that's when it goes down the most?
If I can find it, I can quote you directly. I can quote him directly.
I trust you, mate.
Oh, it's too bad I don't have it. Or it's here somewhere. Just take just one moment. Just be patient. I know you want to get to the answer, but somehow it may have a profundity coming directly from Dick Wilson. Let's see. Here we go. Now, what was interesting is I grabbed this from Dick Wilson's red book, which I'm trying to get a hold of. I think Mike Spivak has it. Mike, if you're listening, we got to get a copy of that red book. We don't need the book itself. We just need it photocopied. Please. It'll change the world. Okay.
Like so, this?
Normally he talks about it backwards. he talks about the forward bend of the wrist. But here, I said, why is it backwards? He goes, it doesn't matter. You can think of it either way. So here's what he says, and it's directly going to answer your question. As the forearm starts down, the tip of the stick reaches its peak, bracket, maximum height, bracket.
Exactly, so like this.
The forward bend of the wrist, besides releasing the finger pressure, also motivates the upward motion of the forearm. So let's start there, because that's how he teaches it. Even though it's written down different in his book, maybe it's what Murray told him. Okay, so just try it. The forward bend of the wrist. Now, if we're doing this remedial thing, so let's see if that's true if we're just remedial. There's so little to feel. I'm not making... Yeah, okay. So there's some kind of relaxation that happens, but really we're just... If you start talking about squeeze and release while you're doing this, it'll just muck everything up, I believe.
Yeah, so it's the mistake as you did, so yeah.
Okay. So the forward bend of the wrist
motivates
the upward motion of the forearm, doesn't it? Watch.
Yeah.
Just prove it. Just prove it to yourself.
There you go, right?
As the forearm starts down, and this is a little bit different way to look at it, the tip of a stick reaches its peak. He really wants you to think that way. So now the reality is, Raf, that the reason the forearm starts. There you go. But you're going to have to time it so you don't get to the floor, and then you're waiting at the floor for the wrist turn. The wrist turn is happening so that there's a synchronicity. The wrist turn is happening so that if you time it, and he would talk about that, he'd say, you've got to get, once you learn the timing of the motion, you'll be fine, Kevin. So the idea is that as the forearm starts down, the instant, he'd say, the forearm starts down, the instant you turn towards the ceiling, that's really what's happening.
But it almost feels it counter interacts, right? Like when you do this, like your forearm is already kind of going down, isn't it?
Right, but we don't, but check it out. That's, you've got this part of it now, but this turning towards the ceiling is going to have to catch up to the forearm so that at the very end, you see everything is moving everything is countervailing until the very end, you see? Watch. This is why this technique is can be kind of mysterious, because am I going down or up? Well, my hand is going down. The stick is going down, and yet my forearm is going up. See, they're countervailing. Now, as I bring the tip of the stick up, my forearm is going down. Are you going up or down? Well, you're doing both. And at the very last minute, you're going to catch up, and the whole system will be moving together and no longer countervailing. It'll catch up. That's the timing of the throw.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go ahead and give it a try. We're doing this to this, this to this, then this, and remember, as I cock my wrist, the forearm is going to begin its descent. There you go, not bad. But go ahead and just do what I showed you, because what I showed you will get you there. No, I want you to just learn this motion to begin with. And don't point your first finger. Your first finger is too pointed. Yeah, you need this. Just take your time. You don't have to rush it. And then when you're ready to make your blow, is Murray's feedback. There you go. And see, that's different than what you were doing. There you go. You see?
Yeah, certainly when I was turning my wrist, I still kind of kept my forearm here.
You're just holding your arm up in the air.
Then it almost feels that because your forearm is going down, it kind of creates this leverage. Creates this momentum of like the wrist kind of snapping to a certain extent.
Well, that's the torque I was talking about. Richard Wilson would say, you don't bring the beat up, you leave it down on the way up, and then you bring it up, and you can flip. Watch. If you do that, you can feel the torque Feel it?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Try to feel the torque now. Yeah, feel the torque. Kind of like that. Okay? All right, so
It's hard not to hit with the shaft.
Pardon?
It's hard not to hit with the shaft of the stick.
The shank?
Yeah.
Well, that's your timing and maybe where your pad is. You don't want to push with your arm. It follows.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
You say you just turn your wrist as your arm falls. Okay, much better. Okay, now face me, and I'm going to give you a quick exercise. Let's see. Try to lock some of this stuff in. Okay, so now I'm going to give you that remedial exercise, right? Just to get you there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go, let's see. See my left is better. In traditional, that's how I practice, yeah. But see, you can see, watch. The gig is you got to come down to the floor, and get both sides of the motion. Here's the up and the down. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, let's see you do that. Metronome on at 40. You're playing quarter notes. Metronome is a quarter note.
It's probably too fast though, so I'll probably do half notes. Okay.
Okay, go ahead and do half notes. Now remember what we do as a remedial exercise needs to be understood as just that. That in real time we come up. You see, we come up. We don't get to wait at the top. We come up, but I come all the way up. So I'm coming up, and then I cock my wrist, and it feels slow, Raf. It's actually, that's what students used to say to me. I remember hearing that. It almost feels like you're in slow motion once you get this technique. Maybe, yeah. That's half the speed, twice the effort. How about that for a Freudian slip? There are maybe other techniques where that would be true. I'm not sure. Let's not go there. But right, it's half the effort, twice the speed. So everything feels like maybe it's in slow motion. See, and Dick would say, don't rush the down, Kevin. Don't rush your down. You just have to lift it up and let everything. Watch how slow I'm lifting it up. Oh, I'm pulling it out of a tar pit. You ready? It's as if the stick has come in contact with some gum. We've got the double bubble down here, and it's sticky, and I want to pull it up, and it stretches, and then it's almost like a rubber band. And then the rubber band contracts upon itself. Do you want to do it again? Go on, do it again. Come on up higher. Come up a little bit higher. Really feel that. All the way up. I feel the butt end on my palm, and I'm up here, right? And then I'm slowly going to lift that stick up. There! Do it again. You had one really good one. Come on, get up nice and get up nice and high from the wrist. There you go. And slowly imagine it weighs 10 pounds. And you're going to lift it up. There. There. Come on up. And then lift the 10-pound weight at the end of the stick. Lift it up. There you go. Come on up high enough so you can feel the whole thing collapse. Don't do it with your arm. Just lift it up. No, come on. Lift that up. It'll motivate the downward motion of the throw. There you go. Say it's nice and slow. Yeah, that's a good one. Do that on the right. On up high enough so that you can really feel both sides. Both sides of the throw. Now, no, come on, way up. Now, I know we were just talking about not waiting at the top for just for a minute. No, come on. If you're really lifting 10 pounds, that'll force the forearm to come down. Lift that up. Yeah, come on, lift it. Come on. Lift that 10-pound weight and see what happens. Ah, there. There. Lift it up. There. That's much better. Okay, now if we could do that in time, and if you can't, that's okay too, because you felt it. You actually felt it just now. Okay, so, right? And I think some part of you recognizes that.
No, absolutely. I get what you mean, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going, Now let's see, I'm going to try to give you an exercise. Then we could go, let's see, yeah, how would we do? Let's see, click, click, good, it's awfully slow. Maybe I would just give you,
It's tough to do quarter note triplets.
So let's play it. Let's play it like this. Let's play it just as quarter notes. Just get used to this. Do you have any idea how slow this is? This is really slow. Come on up enough so you can really feel that side of the throw, and then lift that 10-pound weight up. That was a good one. Okay, now play quarter note triplets from there. Two and one and okay, one and two and one and two. Now remember, I'm really feeling the impact of the stick, the front of the hand, 3-finger grip. Don't do anything funky with your fourth and fifth. Come on up nice and high. That was good. That's good. Come on, we're done. Stay with me. No, come on. Okay, now we're quarter note triplets. Okay, so one and two. And then it's going to be one and two. Now we're going to play eighth notes. Come on, don't stop coming up just as high. Maintain the same motion. There you go. See, you can do it. Now, if I didn't tell you, when you watch this back, now, unlike earlier today, your elbows are swiveling properly. I see them moving. I shouldn't have told you. They ruin it. Okay, now, so there we're at eighth notes. So yeah, for now, here, I'll play the exercise. So now we've gone from quarter notes. God, that's slow. And then we're going quarter note triplets. And two and one and two, and then we're going to go, and then we're going to go one and two and three and four and one and two and three, and then we're going to play eighth note triplets. And then we're going to play okay, so give me, let's take it from eighth notes.
Just find the metronome. Yeah.
Remember, you're coming straight up. Now your left is starting to do something weird. Stop, 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 stop. In the left, just remind yourself, what does it feel like to do this? Come on, do this again. That's why I wanted you to do it. Come on, up and down, leaving the bead there. Don't point your first finger, and don't pull it. Just keep it in one position and go up and down. You see? It's going straight up and down. When you go to play, at this speed, once we got eighth notes, it started to go out to the side. That means you're leading with your arm. I wanted to come straight up, and then you're going to cock your wrist. There, like that. Come on, eighth notes again. Straight up and left. Imagine what it felt like when you left the bead on the surface and came up. It doesn't mean you get to cheat and not come up as high. How high are you going to come up? Show me in the left how high you're going to come up. Just stop for a minute. No, just come up. Okay? Whatever stripe on your shirt, memorize it. We need special drum shirts, right? Where all the different levels of height are indicated. That's how high you're coming up. Every time. Come on up. Like that. Every time. Then cock your wrist. There you go. Come on, a big cock. A little more of a cocking. There. Come on. Back there. All the way to the floor. And you'll just land and wait. Eighth notes. Go for it. You can do it. Don't stop shaking your head. It won't help. You're not helping you. There you go. There you go. That's a little more like me.
I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. You see? Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into eighth note triplets. Can you do it? I think you can. You got to come up to that stripe every time. It's really slow. You just think it's fast. It's nothing. I mean, all that's happening is what? All that's happening is one and one and two. This is all that's happening. Watch. Look how slow that is. Go ahead and do it. You're not coming up to that stripe. You see what's happened? Don't be afraid. Come on up. There's plenty of time. And then cock your wrist. You'll get that nice motion. There you go. See, it's the motion that's important. The notes will come from there. That looks, there you go. Okay, 16th notes. Come on. Blow yourself away and prove to yourself you can do it. Oh, you got to come up. It's not that fast. Put your right hand on your leg, on your calf. Put your right hand on your calf. Put your right hand on your calf. Put your right hand on your calf. See, that stretches your arm out. It's on your leg. Now your arm doesn't feel this. Okay? Now go ahead and play. Come on up to that stripe in the left. You can make a, right? You can make a tap. One and two and one and two. This is all that's happening. Oh no, yeah, we're at 16th notes. This is it. There you go. Put the hands together on the surface. Come on all the way up. All right, that's the chart I'm writing out for you. That was really good. Okay, so you're starting to really capture the throw now. And you'll be able to incorporate that into, for instance, compound stroke number 2. Now, I wanted to give you something else, because you're trying to figure out singles and freaking out for your left hand. I know. Just cool. That's the...
Well, with traditional I can't get it.
That's the totally committed, kind of neurotic artist in you, which is cool, right? It's the anxiety of growth, as Richard Wilson would say. Okay. So I was thinking about creating a singles chart based on Richard's apex of the apotheosis. Richard Wilson's apex of the apotheosis.
Okay.
And Greg Allman illustrated it, one of Richard Wilson's longtime teachers. Apotheosis. The act of making a god of a person, attributing of divinity to a human being, a deification, the glorification of a person or thing, a glorified ideal. Doesn't that sound like Dick Wilson? And then what we've got is, and that's the apotheosis. Now the apex is the highest point of anything. Tip, peak, vertex, the tip and contiguous portion of the blade of the tongue.
It's just an exercise, for fuck's sake.
A climax, see summit. Okay, so now we're climbing to the top of the mountain. Okay, so here's what's happening. This would normally be he used this lesson to teach feet, but I'm going to see what I can do with it and turn it into something that would work with your hands and then would act as some kind of potential remedy for the singles in the left hand that ails you. And I think your left hand is probably just as good as your right. You just don't know it. I know. Okay.
You're triggering me.
All right. You pay extra for that, by the way. Okay. So we've got this cool new throwing exercise, which you excelled at today. Okay. Now, let's see how would this work. 1, 2, 3. So I'm playing quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like I'm at an angle to the camera. Try to give you a. That can be better. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay, now we're going to play 3, 4. We're going to go 1 and 2 and 1. Let's see. Would that be too slow? 1 and 2. You know, I don't think Dick Wilson even used a metronome. I don't remember him using a metronome.
Okay.
So let's just think of it this way. So it's 1. Let's see how he wrote it. It's been a while since I played this. I had it on my. I wrote it out as a chart for the band. So again, it was, believe it or not, I'm trying to make a tune out of this. It was pretty interesting. So let's see. Well, we can think of it like this. 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and so that would be quarter note triplets, right? All right. Now, so we've got 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3, a 4. Now this is going to be our new quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. This is our new quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. And this is our new quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. And this is our new quarter note. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. This is our new quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, let's see. I'm used to counting it. Let's see. 1, 1, 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and okay, that'll work. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our new quarter note. New quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about as fast as you can go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going backwards. This is our new quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. And this is our new quarter note. 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and this is our new quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and this is our new quarter note. 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and 4 and depending on how slow you want to go. Okay, so see if you can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So you're going to start nice and slow. Find a nice slow tempo and count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 1, 1 and 2 and 1 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Triplet, triplet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Triplet, triplet. And just think of it like that. Okay. 1, 2. Let's see. What metronome work? Let's see.
Yeah, but you can't have a metronome to a certain extent, can you? It's not going to work out.
No, you can. Should it would all work out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. It might be overwhelming to the mind. So let's approach this as Richard Wilson would, and he didn't have the metronome. He just wanted you to feel the different times, and it will help you with your time. It really will. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Triplet, triplet. I need you to count though. The gig is you have to count out loud.
3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
You're too fast. Start again. 1, 2, 3. Let's just get a starting point.
Yeah.
So let's say 48. 1, 2, 3, 2. Count out loud. I need you to count out loud. I need you to prove to
1, 2, 3, 4, 1,
Triplet,
3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1.
No.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1, 2, 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So how are we going to come back? So now this is your new quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're back to the triplets. It's slower. Now this is okay. So take it from the top of the apex. 1, 2. Remember this we had
fast. Yeah, single sharp.
2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Now we're slowing down. Once we feel like we've gotten fast enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm counting 1. I'm not going 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now back to triplets. Okay, so take it from here. Counting 4. Just count half of them. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's hard to go back. It's hard to go from fast to slow.
Here's what it'll be like. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1. Just do that.
Yeah.
Coming out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Here, no, twice as fast. 1, 2, 3. We're only counting one hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gotta count.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
Now to triplets. You're not counting. Your silence is deafening. I need you to count out loud.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now when you're in the triplet mode, you're going to count those triplets as a duple. 4.
That 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a
1, 2, 3.
1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4.
No. You can't go back to the other speed. That was just to help you get it. So for I'll play it maybe a little. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Triple. Now this is just quarter notes or groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So go from the fastest speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, and then start counting that.
Got it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2. 1, 2, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1.
Now it's going to slow down again. Is there a way to count this?
3 and 4 and 2.
1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a new quarter note. 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. New quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a new quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and new quarter note. 1, then it's going to go the other way. 3, 4, 1 and 2. It's going to get faster. New quarter 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. New quarter note 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. New quarter 2, 3, 4. 1. Now we're going to slow it down. New quarter note 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. New quarter note 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2. Right? And that'll give you a chance to work on not only your turning your wrists, but this was the difference between Murray Spivak and Richard Wilson. Murray didn't do stuff like this. He kept things very simple. You want to work on your singles? We're just going to count in 4 and work on our singles.
I actually prefer it like that personally.
Right. But this gets into your playing so that when you're soloing, right? You can modulate so that if you're on the drum set, and you're playing this, what does this really mean? It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, or it could be this, 1, 2, or it could be or it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1. Or it can turn into different things, and then on the drums you can begin to modulate and not be locked into, oh, this happens to be this. This can be whatever you decide. This could be groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, or it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And
yeah,
so
for sure. I get what you're saying, and certainly is more useful to do this exercise and just. But then at the same, on the other hand, is I may not be focusing on just the singles, and then I'm also having in my mind things like the tempo and am I counting right or not, instead of just focusing on the singles. Now I'm not saying the exercise is not valuable; it certainly is. But for example, if you just look at the singles chart, it's simpler and easy to understand in that sense. Both have good things, I guess. That's the point I'm trying to say.
Right. So there are the 2 different approaches, and we've approached this using the 2 different approaches because I've given you some simple things. But that said, once you do this, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can't think about your hands. You can't just relax and meditate. And then what's going to happen is, you see, it's going to challenge you to a new speed. And now you're at a new speed. And so what? I mean, okay, we know these are triplets, or they can be quarter notes. And now you can look at your hands because it's going to be a little different at this speed, isn't it? Okay, now these are going to be, so once you relax, once you stare at yourself in the mirror, you can feel, you can listen, you can look, right? And then this is going to speed up. So now we're going to have a new challenge. But you can spend an hour at this speed. What do you mean? No, you can stop here. And now you're going to have another speed to work on. Because this is 2. Now we're going to 1 and 2 and oh, how does this feel? It feels different. Doesn't matter how you count this now. We're just at this speed. We know that based on this chart, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 2. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Now you want to try to go faster than that? I'm not going to experiment right now. I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. Okay? And then we can turn, and then you can spend a bunch of time at that speed because it's going to feel a little different than this, and and you're going to get a chance to experiment. What will that feel like? So all I'm doing here is giving you different speed signals to work on, and a cool way to maneuver through the different changes in speed. Because really, what is this apex of the apotheosis? What is that in musical terms?
Singles, right? I guess. Well, musical terms, well.
Well, what are we doing here in terms of the conception?
Modulating, right?
It's a metric modulation, and what is a metric modulation?
Well, it's just playing different tempos.
You're doing a master class.
Playing one signature over the other, right? So
if you're doing a master class and there's that guy at the back of the room going, yeah, well, so what's a metric modulation, man? And I'll give you the answer. It's the controlled interrelationship of speed. See how simple that is? That's what that is. So now you have an understanding, or a better understanding of a metric modulation. Okay, now let's take a quick look. Let's take a quick look at your doubles rebound. We're running out of time, so I want to just quick moment. We're in stick control. Go put the metronome on at 80 because we're 72 to 80.
Yeah.
And let's take a look at exercise number 3. Yeah, look, you stopped at the floor. Not bad. So, what would happen if we turn this into a roll stroke? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 7-stroke roll. Now, here. Right, there's your up into a throw. There's that throw. Don't give me the arm thing. Remember, we've worked on this. You're going to go up to that stripe on your shirt. There! There! Do it the other way. Come on. Yeah, not bad. Both ways. Got to come all the way up. Nothing goes away. Yeah. Okay, now we're into the apex of the apotheosis. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. See, now we could create a whole new exercise. You see how the apex of the apotheosis could be cool? Because I just went from thinking 4. Imagine if you're soloing.
The triplets.
So from thinking 4, and now suddenly you're playing roll strokes, but they're triplets. So now that those triplets, now they become thinking of 4. Now you play roll strokes at the speed of triplets, but you're really in duple. And you could do that again. And now people are saying, what the heck is he doing? Yet he seems to know where he is. Because you do. Thanks to Richard Wilson and his modern conception with regards to teaching this technique. So there was a lot today, right? But just enough. I don't think you're overwhelmed. I don't think you have too much to practice.
Oh, it was good. It was good.
But I think one of the main takeaways is it's what Richard Wilson would say, and I've mentioned it before. Once you feel it, you will feel it again. And you actually felt that. Now the throw, you actually were feeling it today. That means you're going to feel it again, whether you like it or not. It's okay. And as well, you have just blossomed from doubles on the wrist, which we're going to keep working on, but now we're playing doubles on the rebound and roll strokes.
Mm-hmm.
So that is another hurdle you have just you've actually moved forward with regards to the chronology of teaching this technique.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so well done.
Good. Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome, Raf.